Remember, my Patreon supporters got to see previews and work-in-progress shots of this figure as I made it. If you want to join them, follow the link in the description below. Hey out there, this is Wakeangel2K1 going back with Legend of Zelda Customs. Now, the last one I made was Mipha from Breath of the Wild, so we're going to return to a character that appeared in Hyrule Warriors, specifically Darunia, who was of course originally from Ocarina of Time. The base figure would be Ulick the Troll from the Marvel Legends 4-inch line, and yeah, we already got a big guy with dubiously human proportions, so turning him into an Ocarina of Time style Goron shouldn't be that hard, should it? Darunia has a severe case of dad bod going on with a pretty epic beer gut, so I had to sculpt that on over Ulick's rock hard abs. I might be using the word rock a lot of times in this video. Once the stomach was sculpted in place, it's attached to the upper part of the torso, so his waist and ab crunch articulations still work. It was a simple fact of painting him. Now, I had to make a special paint by mixing together yellow, orange, some sand color, to make that sandstone-looking color. And then the back is just some brown to represent that carapace that all Gorons have. With that, all he needed is a little tattoo on his shoulder to be a full-fledged Goron, and we have us a big, gutted, naked man. Let's move on to the other parts. The foot modifications are pretty simple. Ulick has a classic Ninja Turtle-style two-toed thing, while Darunia actually does have 5 toes, so I just had to sculpt on some extra toes. I also sculpted the bands onto his ankles. Now with the paint job, I made a choice. I am doing this as a Hyrule Warriors custom, not an Ocarina of Time custom. So that means instead of the bands being made out of leather like they were in Ocarina of Time, they're made out of metal, for Hyrule Warriors. So that's the one thing that differentiates this Darunia from the Ocarina of Time Darunia. Yeah. The hands were similar modifications. Ulick does have some pretty big hands, but they're not big enough to be a Goron, so I had to sculpt on really big new fingers, as well as the, the wristlets. The head was basically made in 3 phases. First, covering Ulick's face with epoxy so I could sculpt on Darunia's face with the prominent brow and pug nose. Then I had to build up his mane. He has this big old beard and hair combo thing going on. Now, at first you might be thinking, dude, I thought you were doing Hyrule Warriors. It would be charitable to say he looks like the old N64 model. Well, once those initial points hardened, I was able to sculpt on the rest. Yeah, that looks pretty epic, right? A whole big mane that kind of looks a little bit like a Lionel. Maybe that's where they got the inspiration for the hairstyle. So with that done, then he's painted. Again, because Hyrule Warriors, he has purple eyes. Because he had brown eyes in Ocarina of Time. So, with that all done, let's take a look at the completed Darunia figure. Haha, there we go! At just about a little bit more than 5 inches tall, this figure is happily quite large next to, the regular Legend of Zelda figures, and represents Darunia's advanced size. He's actually kind of small for a Goron. He's taller than a Hylian, of course, but based on the NPC models, most Gorons are supposed to be, huge, twice as large. This guy is, he's a big dude, but he's small for a Goron, is what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, he scales pretty good. I really do like that Ulick base. It's actually, for such a beefy figure, it's really posable. And he does match pretty much perfectly with the Rudo I made, so that's pretty much the big thing that he has to do since, Ocarina of Time reunion. So that's Darunia. I'm really happy with the way this figure came out, as I always am, because I love my own work. But what do you guys think? This is Wakeangel2K1, and I'm signing off for the day.